We're live! Hey everybody, welcome back for our 4th episode of What's Cooking at the Capitol, a Facebook Live series throughout the legislative session where Liz and I talk about important food and farm legislation making its way through the Capitol and give you easy ways to take action, all while sharing a seasonal recipe.
Yes, so we are making it really easy to support local food and farms with your purchasing power and your political power. So Molly, what are we talking about today?
Okay, so today we've got a very important piece of legislation. It's called the Better School Lunches Act, HB4813, sponsored by Representative Jehan Gordon Booth and Senator Ram Bellavalam. And since we're talking about school lunch, we are making a local pizza with a local twist. So this is something that I wish we would have had when we were, in school. So this is our own little version that we're going to be sharing today.
Definitely. Pizza is always a great choice, especially when we can enjoy it and support local farms at the same time. So, Better School Lunches Act. Molly, 20,000 foot view. What is this bill doing?
Okay, so here's the situation. This bill removes the requirement that certain schools must accept the lowest price bid on food service agency contracts. This prevents schools from being able to improve their school lunches. So when the only factor for purchasing a food service agency contract or purchasing food is price, it prevents schools from being able to create contracts that value nutrition, quality, farm-to-school sourcing. It drives down wages, and ultimately, it's our kids that pay the price with poor quality meals. Illinois is just one of 2 states in the nation that has this requirement, so it's got to go.
Agreed. So it sounds like this bill could really create some opportunities for farm to school and help improve school lunches at the same time across the state. And you mentioned that this policy only pertains to certain schools. So can you dig into that a little more?
Yeah, so here's the kicker. The lowest price bid requirement only applies to schools that participate in the National School Lunch Program, which is the federal program for schools that have a high percentage of free or reduced lunch. So this essentially means that it only pertains to schools that have high levels of poverty. The schools that have the highest levels of poverty, though, are the ones that are beholden to this requirement and the ones that probably need healthy school lunches the most. So it's students that are going to these schools that might rely on this one school lunch as their only lunch or source of nutrition for the day. And they are the ones that are being most harmed by this existing policy.
Yeah, it's got to go for real. So speaking of this bill, let's talk about where it's at. It is one day away from April, I think, or we have, one day away. Session's over April 8th. We have about a week to go. So I attended a hearing on Tuesday in person. It was awesome to be in the Capitol to watch Elliott Clay testify on behalf of this bill in a committee hearing. And I know we're waiting on an amendment to bring some groups to neutral. So can you talk a little bit more about that, Molly?
Yeah, so recently an amendment was introduced to not only remove the lowest price bid requirement, but also to add in some language that is actually really great. It requires schools to make a good faith effort to prioritize farms, humane and sustainable practices, and sourcing from minority and women-owned businesses. So that's not a requirement. They don't have to source from those places, but it is a first step in creating contracts that use taxpayer dollars, your dollars, to actually help grow local economies, support local farms and sustainable agriculture in Illinois, while of course also making sure that kids have the best nutrition that they can get.
Right. Well, it sounds like with a week to go, we really need your help to push this over the finish line. So taking action is the best thing you can do. Please take a moment to fill out an action alert that we are going to put in the chat. It's super easy, just one click, and you can contact your lawmakers to let them know that this is something important to you, something that you care about.
Yeah, like Liz said, we've got 1 week left, so every lawmaker needs to hear about this bill and needs to have it on their radar. So go ahead and take action. It's quick and simple, and let's talk about what we got today for our school lunch.
Yes.
Our school lunch. Okay, so we made a healthy a pizza here with a local twist. It's got local kale and local sausage on top of it. My favorite secret here is just to buy a pre-made pizza and then add your own favorite local toppings on it. We got sausage from Triple S Farms. Shout out to Triple S. You can find kale at a farmer's market near you from any local farm. And shout out to the Green City Farmer's Market in Chicago, which is opening in April, I think next weekend. So go check them out. I think just a whole month earlier than most farmers markets. So go head out to Green City Farmer's Market. We also have some local greens for a nice little salad here. Local greens from Cones in Arthur and from Itty Bitty Microgreens. We used pizza sauce from Onofrio's. This is actually made by our CFO's dad right here in Springfield. So secret family recipe. You can pick this up at most grocery stores. We got this from Harvest Market here in Springfield. And then we didn't have any local cheese here, but shout out to Prairie Fruits Farm and Creamery, Wrap Jersey Cheese, and Ludwig Farmstead Creamery, which are all great local cheese producers here in Illinois. And then I also picked up, because this is school lunch, right? We have to keep it. We have to keep a school lunch with local milk. So this is from Rolling Lawns. They have great flavors. This is strawberry milk. This is cappuccino milk.
So good.
Not sure I would serve this in the school, but don't need more energy for those kiddos. But we're gonna enjoy it. And then finally, if you want to go the extra mile, make your own pizza crust at home. We recommend picking up some local flour from Janie's Mill Farm. They also have a great pizza crust recipe on their website. I'm going to drop the link in the chat for that. You can find all these ingredients and local farms near you at buyfreshbylocalillinois.org.
Yes. All right, Molly. Let's take a slice here.
Oh, I got a slice here too. Okay, cool.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's cheesy. I'll talk for you. Thank you all so much for tuning in for our 4th episode of What's Cooking at the Capitol. Please take action. Just one click, and you can let your lawmakers know that the Better School Lunches Act is important to you and it needs to pass. We just have a week to go, so please take some action. Thanks for joining us.
Also, it's really good.
It's really good.
Go grab some local ingredients. Make a local pizza.
Yeah. Cheers.